What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 8, The Reunion Part 2. Now, before we go ahead and get into Part 2 of the reunion, guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, you guys, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Part 2 of The Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, shall we? All right, you guys, so Part 2 of the reunion picks up where we ended with Part 1. And you guys know how I said I felt about Part 1 and ending with Mia. I still have the same sentiments about this whole thing because I don't like where this is going. And I stated my feelings last week and I still stand on that. And even Karen had to chime in to say, you know, this is a kid, this is a child we're talking about, that he'll eventually have to watch this. And I was like, thank you, somebody finally said it, because it's terrible that we're talking about a kid. Now, I don't know what Mia's end game. The thing is with Mia, I don't know what Mia's end game is, because here's the thing. Mia says that she did IUI and she knows for a fact that that is Gordon's son. So then if you know that that's Gordon's son, why are you on this television and why do you have Mr. Ink over here thinking that Jeremiah is his son? Like, Mia, this is not a good look. I didn't agree with that and I don't like it. So after that, Karen. You guys know how I feel about Karen. You guys know I like Karen. I go up for Karen, right? But Karen, you sat up there and lied on that stage. When Andy said that you called me a hoe, you said you didn't call Mia a hoe. But if you were mentioning something about Mia being a hoe, and you said a hoe knows a hoe, and I was like, Karen, are you calling yourself a hoe? Because even Mia said, so it takes a hoe to know a hoe. Karen says she's not a hoe. She got plenty of hoes on the farm. I was like, oh, Karen, you done spun yourself into a little web. So then Giselle asked Mia the question of that final scene that we saw this season of Potomac in the finale, when Gordon and Mia were talking. She said, is Gordon upset about, you know, not having money and then you getting with someone who is more financially stable? Mia says no, that her separation had nothing to do with that. She says that her separation from Gordon is because of the way that Gordon was treating her, you know, taking money out of her checking account. And, you know, she also found out that he was financially, actually says going into their marriage, Gordon was, she didn't say financially, she said that Gordon was functioning bankrupt, right? So Andy brought up the thing that she said in DR, that she may have married Gordon for his money, but then she also said that she had an inheritance. So let Mia tell it. She has some grandparents who passed. She had three grandparents who passed away, and she came into some money. And I was like, okay, Mia, girl, tell that lie to whoever you want to sell it to. But that's really one of my issues when it comes to Mia, is that Mia is such a liar that you just don't know what is the truth about Mia. So Andy asked Karen at one point, Ink, is that the person that you were saying is the rapper that she was with? Karen said yes. Andy asked Karen when did she find out. Karen says that she found out at the party for her little special that she had, right? And so they were like, Ink was at the party. She says no, she found out soon after that. And then after that, we talked about Mia and her living situation. So Mia's living in a smaller apartment. Mia and Gordon are being sued by the previous apartment that they lived in for unpaid rent, that they'll have to go to court for. Gordon is going to be moving into a penthouse across the street from Mia. I was like, so damn, he's going to have a front row seat to seeing Mr. Ink come over to your house. And also Mia says she can't divorce Gordon until June of this year because of some businesses I was like, now what businesses do y'all have, Mia? Because the joint was all that we knew of. But hey, y'all know, again, we take everything Mia say with the finest grain of salt. But we'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. All right, you guys, so next up, we talk about Giselle, and I had the proverbial eye roll for Giselle. The one thing that I do want to say is, you know, her father passed away, and I'm going to say two things. One of them may be a little controversial. I don't really care, to be quite honest with you, but I'm going to say it nonetheless. We can talk about the good things that her father has done, but I'm not going to forget these articles that that's coming up before her father passed away and after he's passed away about him, you know, running for, I think it was a Senate seat, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but where he called the black woman Aunt Jemima. And I was like, well, damn, let us know how you really feel about the woman. And so I'm wondering if that's where never mind, I'm gonna keep it to myself. But rest in peace to Giselle's dad. What else? Now, she says that Wendy is lying about the fact that, because she said she didn't know Wendy's mom was in the hospital, but she didn't negate the fact that what Wendy said, because Wendy is saying that Giselle called Jamal and one of them called her mother evil while she was in the hospital. You know, here's my thing. I don't speak on nobody's parents at all, because I wouldn't want nobody to speak on mine negatively. I don't talk about nobody's parents. It's just not something that I prefer to do. We see Giselle, she started crying. We're talking about her dad. Okay. You know, again, rest in peace to her father. Then we moved on to, actually before that, Candace was crying, right? And Andy looked to Candace and asked Candace, why is she crying? And I was like, because despite the fact that she may not like Giselle, the woman is talking about her father and she's tearing up. So Candace does have empathy and have a heart, unlike Giselle. So it's not a problem if the girl is crying. Then we talk about the fact of Candace and Wendy making faces when Giselle was talking about Grace. I've said my piece about that earlier in this season. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think that Candace and Wendy were making faces about Grace. I can say that. I don't think they were making faces about Grace. I think they were making faces because it's just like, oh, now she wants to talk. And more specifically, it's like you want to talk about the treatment of your daughter when she gets down to Florida. But, you know, on here, we kind of brush things to the side about colorism and all that stuff, right? You can see where that probably came into play. I'm not saying that that's what it was, but as I stated a few minutes ago, I don't believe they were making a face about Grace herself. It's kind of like a situation where if I'm in a room with somebody and I don't really fuck with them and they talking about anything that's going on in their lives, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit there and look like this. Just make my, just have my regular, I don't give a fuck face on, right? Let's just be like, let's stop playing the game. Cause some of y'all you hate Candace and Wendy that much that like y'all expect for them to sit there and be like, oh my God, Giselle, tell me more about Grace. What is she gonna major in? Is she gonna be an AKA like you? Is she gonna, like, y'all are acting like people should do that kind of stuff. But if we have a beef, if we don't rock with each other, no offense to your child, I don't care what she's going to, I don't care what she's going to school for. I don't care where she's going to school. I don't care if she's going to pledge. I don't give a fuck what your child is going to do. Period, point blank. And I would do the same thing if I, like the situation last season with Wendy and with Robin. I wasn't really upset that Robin didn't invite her kids because me and you ain't clicking. So shit, I don't want you around, nothing against your kids, but I don't want y'all in my although it was a shitty event, I wouldn't care, right? Then people want to sit there and say Karen should say something to them. It's like, no, Karen does not have to say something to them. And Karen says, but the whole group does it. And Giselle wants to get mad at Karen, but it is the truth. Like, girl, stop playing. Because Giselle, I know you was laughing and kikiing when Robin did not invite Wendy's kids to whatever the hell it was that she had last season, right? Then Wendy says when they were down there in Austin that she congratulated Giselle's daughter. She asked her was she gonna pledge. Wendy says it happened. Candace says it happened. Giselle says it didn't happen. You guys can choose to believe whoever the hell you want to believe. Me personally, I don't care. Producers didn't have any footage of it. And I was like, okay, cool. The producers don't have any footage of it. I don't care, to be quite honest with you. Don't care. Candace says that when it comes to Giselle's kids, she never says anything. She's always spoke positively about her kids. I believe that, right? Then we talked about Giselle and Jason, and don't care about Giselle and Jason because I just think that that's a bullshit storyline, period, point blank. Let me know what you guys think about it. We'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. Next up, you guys, we talk about Candace. One thing that I do want to point out that I noticed, we're in part 2 of the reunion, right? Nneka has been having side conversations. We have not spoken anything. That literally lets you guys know that Nneka had no storyline this season if we ain't even touched the surface of anything with Nneka, and it's not gonna happen until part 3. That lets you know that the lady had no fucking storyline. So to the people who have been coming at me on Twitter saying we must be watching a different show, I think the fuck not, because if she had a storyline, we would have talked about it in part 1. We've talked about Robin in part 1. We've talked about Robin. We've talked about Mia. We talked about, in part 2, we talked about Giselle. We talked about Karen turning triple 20. We talked about Karen's triple 20. We have talked about, what else have we talked about? We talked about Karen. We talked about Giselle in this part. We talked about Robin. We have not talked about Nneka because she had no storyline. Like literally, the woman had a storyline in the last few episodes. Yes, in the beginning of the season, she talked about her IUI journey, but we didn't get it until the end of the episode because we spent the first half of the season talking about this shrine stuff. So, and I saw from one of the, I know it's not like a real Twitter account, but I saw last week from one of them where they said the potential cast for season 9 is Ashley, which I'm not interested in that, Giselle, Karen, Nneka, and Mia. Now let's go down the line of this shit real quick, right? Nneka didn't have a storyline this season, neither did Ashley, neither did Giselle. And then let's go into, and now we're going into season 9. 2 people have a storyline. Karen with this DUI and Mia with this stuff with Ink and Gordon. Outside of that, what else do these other women have? Let's just be real with each other, right? Because Nneka can't keep coming. That's not going to be a sustainable storyline. So they're going to be like, okay, you talked about this last year, your IUI journey. Give us something new. I don't really want to see her, to be quite honest with you. Let me know what you guys think. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I was going around the couches to see who all we touched on. Ashley ain't had a storyline this season, so we ain't talked about nothing with her. We're probably not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about anything with Ashley unless we talk about the fight. Wendy, we have not touched on Wendy because Wendy, her storyline ties in with Nneka. Now, we haven't talked about her talk show. I noticed that. We ain't talked about the talk show. Candace, we talked about her in this episode. Mia, we talked about her in last week's episode and in this week's episode. That just lets you guys know that, and it's so fitting that Nneka and Ashley are at the ends of the couches. Just putting that out there. Giselle should be further, the seating arrangement should be different than what it is. I agree with the couch with Mia, Candace, Wendy, and Ashley. I agree with that. I don't agree with the couch over here with Karen, Giselle, Robin, and Nneka. I honestly don't think Karen should have been first either, if we're being honest with each other. I honestly feel like it should have been Robin. I feel like it should have been Robin, then I guess you could go Karen, then Giselle, and then Nneka. If we go like who had more to talk about this season, because we talked about Juan and Robin, we talked about Karen turning triple 20, Giselle, we didn't talk about nothing but her kid, Grace, going to college, and that stupid ass storyline with Jason. Then Aneka, nothing. But hey, let me know what you guys think. So with Candace, we briefly touched on her and Drew. She says that something happened that left a bad taste in her mouth. She didn't really elaborate on it, but it was something business wise. Then someone said to Ashley that, Ashley sued to gain something financial from Michael suing Candace. Ashley vehemently denies that, but I believe that it is the case, because that figure that he was suing her for, it's around the same dollar amount that home is that Ashley got that she can't fucking afford. Let's be real with each other about that one. So then we move on to Robin and Candace. But before that, we talked about that Gizelle and Robin were both friends with Candace at one point, right? Because Robin was like, and she was friends with Gizelle, and Gizelle said, yeah, and I really defended her season 5. And I was like, okay, yes, you did defend her season 5 against Monique, but then Candace alley-ooped what I was thinking in my head, because the only reason that you defended Candace season 5 is because you hated Monique and you wanted Monique off this show. Like, Gizelle missed me with that. Like, and she's like, oh, so I'm so calculated. I'm friends with Aneka because of this. You were friends with Aneka because it goes against Wendy. Like, and you aligned yourself with Candace in that situation with Monique because you guys were trying to oust Monique. Like, let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. Stop it with the bullshit. So then Candace gave a timeline of the situation between she and Robin, right? So the reunion filmed last year in January. So, Robin had posted, I guess on her Instagram stories, her reunion hair. Candace replied, long hair. Then Robin replied something about it making her look white adjacent. And then Candace asked her, was she mad at her? She didn't respond to her. Then back in March, Candace said that she had reached out to her after all the stuff with Juan, but she didn't respond again. So when all that stuff came out, she just went on Twitter and just let have it, right? And okay, I'm fine with that. The interesting thing is, with Robin, you don't say anything about Candace unless it's on that raggedy ass podcast, or you use your friends that are you use the bloggers to say things about your castmates, right? So, girl, hush. The pot, please meet the kettle at this point. Like, Robin got on my nerves, and then Robin's gonna start trying to cry. I was like, girl, don't even sit here and try, because it's not landing whatsoever. So Robin's whole thing is she felt the way about the colorism comments, and I was like, okay, you felt the way about the colorism comments. But the thing about the colorism comments is the colorism comments have been a thing of contention with Potomac since season 1. Let's be real with each other about that, because you and Gizelle literally sat there and questioned Katie about how black she was, about what box her kids are gonna check and all that kind of stuff, right? Robin, you got so upset in your feelings when she told you you look more European than you do black. And then you did an ancestry DNA and found out that there was more European in you than there was black. So what are we talking about, Robin? Shut up. Like, shut up. And then they're saying that Candace called them colorists. She never called y'all. She didn't really call y'all colorists. She just called out what could be perceived as colorism. And let's just be real with each other, right? There can be there's colorism within the fan base, and there is color. I'm not saying that the ladies are colorist, but you can see some color, you can see them benefiting from colorism, right? Gizelle, let's go back to her tagline. What was it, last season, or was it season 7? The key to what did she say? The key to this, it was the key to something is staying in the shade. Like, did y'all not catch it was, I can't remember what that tagline was, but it was the key to something, key to this face or key to this beauty is staying in the shade or something like that. What does that mean? Like, think about it. I mean, let's not pretend like we don't know what a house nigga is and a field nigga. A house nigga was the niggas that was in the house that were lighter skinned, right? Like, looked like, well, lighter than this. But the house niggas were the ones who could pass for white that were inside the house. The field niggas were the dark skinned niggas that was out there in the fields in the summer doing the work of the yard. Like, come on. Like, oh God, I didn't want to go into that, but hey, we did. But like I said, we're not gonna pretend like y'all haven't talked about race on this show since the beginning, season 1, with Katie. Y'all wanted Katie to tell what box her kids would check. So fuck out of here. And then you guys, we wrap up part 2, right? No, we're in part 2. But yeah, we wrap up part 2 of the reunion, so we're bringing the husbands out, right? Everyone is there with the exception of Juan Dixon. If Robin, like I said last week, if Robin likes looking like a fool, a jester, I'm cool with it. That's on her. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But Robin lost me at a certain point, and we're gonna get to it. Aneka, girl, you're very rude to your husband. I get you telling him that you want him there to support you, and if he's not, he can go be wherever the hell Juan Dixon is. I get it, but damn, girl, you ain't gotta talk to the man any kind of damn way. So then we get Chris, Andy addresses Chris and asks Chris if he believes that Robin is still part of the plot against him. I was like, Andy, why the air quotes? I noticed that Andy put air quotes when he said the plot. I was like, Robin, well, they felt that way because it looked that way. Robin knew that her wandering dick husband had paid for that hotel room for that woman in Canada, which that still makes no sense. But as I've stated plenty of times before, if Robin chooses to believe it, then I choose to believe it. I don't believe it, but like I said last week, if Robin likes it, I love it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. So Chris basically said he don't give a fuck, and I was like, thank you. So then Andy brings up this lying woman on social media that says she had an affair with Chris and that she got pregnant by Chris but had an abortion. Once again, that was a god dang on lie. That woman lives in New Jersey. That woman says she traveled to Oklahoma to get the abortion. Oklahoma, you cannot get an abortion in there. After the Dobbs decision was reversed, you can't get an abortion and you can't get any, like in this area, Texas to Oklahoma, you ain't getting a damn abortion in these states. This is a red state. So these red state Republican. Jersey is a blue state. You can still get one in Jersey. So you mean to tell me that woman went from a blue state to a red state to get a goddamn abortion? How, Sway? Make it make sense. How did she do it? She didn't. She didn't. It's a lie. So then we finna play this. So since they want to play the game of semantics, that the woman said she lied, but then she came back out and said that she wasn't lying. I'm gonna play this game with Zelle and with Robin. That woman also said, when she said that she was lying, she also said that you two put her up to it. But then she came back and contradicted that, saying y'all didn't put her up to it, that she never met y'all. So which one is it? So are we going to believe the fact that, oh, she slept with Chris, she had an abortion with Chris, and then Robin would have got cussed out if Candace went a lot nicer on Robin than I would have went on Robin. Because Robin gonna say, well, what about the screenshots? What about the screenshots? What about the screenshots? Well, what about the screenshots? I would have said, Robin, what about the hotel receipt? Your husband went and put his credit card down to pay for a room for a woman that he wasn't even allegedly smashing, but he did it anyway. So, and I also would have said to Robin, whoa. I would tell Chris, babe, hush, zip it. Don't, like, be quiet, baby. I got this. I can handle this. I got this. This is my lightweight. I want to turn to Robin and say, Robin, hey, girlfriend. So I see G behind Mia. They're going through a divorce right now. Mia has a whole ass boyfriend, and G is still sitting behind her My husband is right here behind me. Eddie is behind Wendy. Okay. Ray is behind Karen. Giselle ain't got nobody behind her. Yo cheating ass, wandering dick ass husband ain't behind you. So I'ma need you. The question that you asking my man, ask your cheating ass nigga them questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't question my man about no fucking screenshots. Screenshots can be faked. But your nigga put down a credit card for a bitch he says he wasn't sleeping with. He also says that the woman came here to see a Baltimore Ravens player. Ask your nigga why she didn't call that Baltimore Ravens man that she came to see, but your man went down there to put down his hotel receipt. He paid for the woman's hotel receipt. He didn't get nothing in return for that. Go ask your man that question. Oh, that's right, your man ain't behind you. So I'm gonna need you to keep it cute and put that shit on mute. Hell, even Aneka's husband is behind her. Again, where the fuck is your man? If your man ain't behind you, don't address this white man behind me. Absolutely not. We're not having it today, Satan. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck right there with that lopsided ass bob that you got on your head. That's what I would have said to Robin. Period, point blank. Because Robin wouldn't have addressed, if I were Candace, Robin would not have addressed Chris on any particular level. Wouldn't have happened. Would have clocked her immediately. I would say, hold your mule. Hold your mule, bitch. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. I'm not, by the way, I'm not calling Robin a bitch. I'm just saying bitch loosely. But I would have said, pump your brakes, girlfriend, because I got your motherfucking penny, nickel, and dime. You ain't finna address my man without addressing your man first. If you believe the bullshit that come out your man's mouth, then my man is a saint over here. Because, girl, your nigga admitted that he put down a hotel receipt for the bitch in Canada. So shut your mouth, girlfriend. Don't address it this way. Stay over there. Stay over there. Stay over there. You and that bob that needs to be redone again. Stay over there. And then I love the fact that Chris called out the fact that they want to hold Candace accountable for the things that she says, but we ain't finna hold Giselle accountable for nothing. I was like, amen, preach it, brother. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, the reunion part 2, and down in the comments section, you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.